It's difficult, it is challenging for kids right now. And it's going to take some easy, simple methods to help bring them out of this madness, this insanity? No. Is it hard? Yes. Let's look at what we've been doing. What has worked? What has not worked? Let's look at where we want to go. What is it that we want to produce? What is it that we want to create for our young people?
I want us to start with a very, very simple exercise. Okay, tufunge macho sisi wote. We only have two chances. Only 2 chances left. Only 2 chances left. Okay.
1, 2, 3.
I told you to do what? The importance of this game is doing what?
Listen.
It is listening. It's not only listening, it is active listening. Active listening. Let me tell you, a lot of times you will get a chance to speak, but only people who learn how to actively listen understand. Only people who learn how to actively listen in class get the lesson. Listening is not easy. Listening is not for everyone. That's why we started with this game. Last chance. Last chance.
1, 2.
Okay, tuweke mkono hivi. Tuweke mkono hivi. Now we are going to have some fun. I want us to have fun, tujiachilie in a halal way. Sawa sawa? So we are going to start. We are going to count. Angalia, tunafanya hivi. Una count 1 up to 10. Okay? Na mkono ya right. Then 1 up to 10. Okay? Hamza says jump to the right. Hamza says jump to the left. Jump to the right again. Hamza says sit down. Hamza says laugh. Okay, so we start here. You tell me, touch your knees. Touch your knees. Okay, like this. Okay? And then you'll say like, touch your head. Head. So the goal, okay, the goal is for you to tell us, grab the shoe. And then we want to see who will grab the shoe. The first one, okay? So you guys will be the ones telling us.
Touch your hands. Touch your head. Grab your shoe.
Okay, so let's go right.
Touch your head. Knees.
Head. Shoe. So we are going to do, I know most of you know this game, horse and arrow or rabbit and arrow. How many know it? So a few people know. Okay, so this is what we are going to do. It is team red against team blue. So what we are going to do is we have 3 options, okay? We have 3 options, 3 signs. The first one is horse. Horse you do like, you show like this. Okay, this is horse, okay? And then there is arrow, okay? And then there is arrow. And then there is wall. Okay, or we can do wall like this. Wall like this, okay? So, you guys, at the first count, I'll say 1. So you guys will go, group up in your team, okay? And then say, which sign do we choose? Let's say, for example, we say arrow, okay? We say arrow. And then they will say, which sign? Horse, they say horse, okay? So if you guys, so when I say 1, you go to your team and say, okay, let's do arrow. Let's do arrow. And then they'll say, let's do horse. And then when I say 2, you will make a straight line, but facing that direction. Okay, like this. And then they will make a straight line facing this direction. When I say 3, you will turn with your sign. Okay? So if it's arrow, all of you must show arrow. If it is horse, all of you must show horse. The one that you agreed upon. Okay? Niambia wasichana, nyinyi venye wanashika, nyinyi venye mnashika vitu. Next week you should do your KCSE. Mko werevu sana. Sema mashallah. So slowly, don't look behind you, please. Don't look behind you. 1, 2, 3. Usiangalie nyuma tafadhali. Usikue bibi ya loot. 2, 2, 2, go! Okay, last time. Okay, agree very fast. Agree 1, agree the sign. The last time we are doing it. Okay, 2, go back to your line. 2, go back to your line. 2, 3. Hawa ni representative wetu, sawa sawa. So they are going I'm going to give them some instruction and then we will learn from this activity, okay? It's about communication, okay? Okay, so you are facing that side. Angalia, face that side. Sisi wote. So I'm going to do a sign, okay? I'm going to do a sign, and then I'll do a sign and then I'll tap. Nyinyi wengine mtaangalia tu huko. Msiangalie nyuma tafadhali. Angalieni huko. So I'll do a sign and then I'll tap the first person, alafu ataangalia, alafu the same sign atatap the second person, atamuonyesha. We expect by the time inafika pale ikuwe the same sign. For us is just watching and laughing and being happy, okay? Don't tell them anything, sir. Don't tell them anything. Are we together? Are we having fun? Should we go home? Tufanye rahisi? Tufanye rahisi? Ama ngumu? Wangapi rahisi? Wangapi rahisi? Wangapi ngumu? Wangapi ngumu? Aya, the ngumus have it. Okay. Aya, songa nyuma kidogo, songa nyuma ndio wapate nafasi ya kumuonyesha. Aya, wewe una turn. Wewe msiseme kitu. Aya, sawa. Umemaliza? Okay, muonyeshe. Aya, wewe muonyeshe.
Pia mimi niko hapo.
Hiyo ndio imefika hapa? Okay.
Imefika mpaka kuchinja.
Aya, girls, tukae chini kidogo. To have lessons alafu tuambia next step from there.
So nataka tujiulize, why are we doing these activities? To wake you up, si ndio? Only. What were the objectives? Did you feel like there were any lessons learned? Let's start with the first activity. What was the first activity we did?
Listening.
The listening. What did we learn from it?
Calmness.
That if you don't listen carefully, you will not follow the right instructions. Now you're going you're already in Form 1. In Form 1, one thing you're going to notice is teachers will not be kama walimu wa primary. Si kama mmeanza kunotice hivyo. You're now becoming more independent. They are letting you be more independent. Are you realizing that? Like you have to do stuff for yourself now more. Hakuna mtu anakufuata na hizo notes sana kama primo, si ndio? Ni wewe unajiandikia nini? Notes. Then if you're given instructions and you didn't listen, what will happen? Are you going to do well? So for us to succeed, we have to learn how to listen. But when we look most of the time, sisi watu tunafanya nini? We talk more than we. So what are we trying to say? We should do what more? Listen more than we. So today, I want us to have a day where you're listening more than you're talking and see how much you will learn. Can we try that today? Yes. Kila ukitaka kuongea unajiambia acha nifunge nisikize. Kila ukitaka kumtia mwenzako story unajiambia acha nifunge nifanye nini? Nisikize. Then you see by the end of the day how much you will have learned. Sawa? Okay, what was the second activity? The shoe, si ndio? What was the lesson about the shoe also? Concentration and also being very keen and quick, si ndio? Kusikiza. The first thing again was listening, being very attentive and being very fast. Do we still need those skills in class? Yes. We need to listen, we need to be keen and we need to be very fast. Ushaona tuingia kwa class ni kama wanaenda wedo. Ushawaona? Anakuja kwa class anaingia hivi. Alafu anafungua desk, hajui kalamu iko wapi, anaanza. The teacher is already talking, yeye bado anatafuta nini? Vitu. Is that how we want to be? No. So it taught us we have to listen, be keen and be very fast. Very fast. Okay, what was the other one? The horse and the rabbit, the wall and the arrow. What were the lessons you learned? Somebody let me know. Let's have yellow house, watuambie. Mtu mmoja wa yellow house, what did you learn? Yes? Teamwork? Great. Blue? What did you learn? Yes? Agreeing on one thing, being together, tuko pamoja, si ndio? Green? Decision making. Excellent. Do we need all those things in this Form 1? Teamwork, si ndio? Mumekuja from different schools, kweli urongo? Kila mtu hapa amekuja na different skills na amekuja na talent, si ndio? If we don't share our skills, we don't share our talents, are we going to get a very good mean score when we finish Form 4? You see, you people, muko Form 1, mutakuwa na mean score yenu, si ndio? You have to agree that mean score pamoja, mutatumia talent ya kila mtu hapa, skill ya kila mtu, intelligence ya kila mtu to achieve that one big mean score. What do we want? You to have the best mean score this school has ever had. Can we have that as an ambition? You guys museme tuta change hii shule. Watakuwa kitukumbuka hata tukitoka. Would you like that? Yes. It starts from today. When does it start? From today we have to have that mindset. We are here to change this school. Kweli? So mwanzeni kujichocha. Mkumbuke kila mtu ako na talent yake. So teamwork is very important. Decision making. You sit and make decisions that suit all of you. Sawa? Then the other one was? What did you say? Concentration, right? If we don't concentrate, can we achieve? So today, by the end of the day, tutakuwa tumecome up na mean score ile tunataka kukua nayo tukitoka hii shule. Sawa? Kuna mtu hapa alikuja as a failure. Alikuja hapa amebembelezwa tu enda tu kwa sababu babako sijui ametoa 100 ngapi ndio wewe ukuje hapa. Kuna mtu alikuja backdoor? Kuna mtu wa backdoor? Iko mtu wa backdoor? Kila mtu hapa alikuja kwa sababu amefanya vizuri. Ama tulikuja kufanya interview. Ukapass. So are we today going to agree that we will change this school and we will be in the newspapers? Who wants to be in the newspapers? So hii shule tutachange. Tutaifanya nini? Ile means go tutatoka nayo hapa. Itaongelewa for the next 10 years. Sawa? So that is what we want to start from today. We are starting this journey from today. Na Hamza aliwaambia kitu. Aliwaambia sasa mnaona kama ni mbali, si ndio? If you don't start now, you will not achieve. So we are starting from from today tunaanza kusikiza. So when we are going now, we are going to give you guys a break. After the break, we are going to have some topics that are geared to help you achieve hiyo kitu tumetoka kuongelea. Umesikia? Tumeongelea tunafanya nini? Tuna change, si ndio? Tuna radicalize shule kwa kutoka na the best means school. We will change this school. So we are going to have some class work now. That's why we said you go come with your pen and your book. We are going to work towards that. Brother Hamza is going to have his topic. So I'm going to have my topic. Dr. Abiba is going to have her topic. So muta rotate. Mkitoka kwangu, wengine wanaenda kwa Abiba, wengine wanaenda kwa Hamza. Hivyo kwa sababu mko wengi, we want to give you more attention. We can't talk to you as a big group. Umeelewa? So the same topic I'll give to the next group, to the next group. Are we clear? So what we want, break. Tukiwapatia break, tunataka by the time tumekubaliana mkwe mshaka chini. Sawa? Remember, when you want to change something, we have to be very fast.
So we're going to talk about emotion regulation and stress management. Emotion regulation and what? Stress management. Why are we talking about emotion regulation? What is emotion, by the way? It's a feeling. What kind of a feeling? Thank you very much. Happiness. Crying. I can't. One person at a time. Sadness. Somebody else around here? You're like this. It can be anger. It can be happiness. It can be sadness. It can be guilt. We feel guilt, you know. And guilt is a good feeling because it means you're a decent human being. Can you imagine if I stepped on your toe and I just walked away and you say, hey, and I say, that means I don't have any sense of guilt. So, did you do telegram in primary school? Yeah. Mother come very sick. When you see a telegram, what did it mean? It means a very urgent message is being sent, you know? But in the current world of information overload, where everything you get very quickly, very fast. The same with telegram, the same with the olden days where I would write a letter. It will take a couple of weeks. I write a letter, I go to the post office, I buy a stamp, I put it in the, and it goes all the way. And then you're looking forward, there's a letter that has come and you know it must be very important. Are we together up to there? Emotions are the same to us. I call emotion the human operating system. The human operating? We have iOS, we have Microsoft Windows, you know. I get notifications on my phone. Just now our phone was ringing. Emotion is the same. Are we together for there? And you cannot be a human being without emotion, unless you're a psychopath, right? And you have an emotion. It's bitterness, it's anger, it's sadness, right? So we live in a world where we have information overload. We're going to talk about how do we regulate our emotions to make sure that emotions do not regulate us. Are we together for that? It means that when I am angry and you talk to me, instead of yelling back at you, I tell you, sorry, I'm not in the right mood, can we do it later on? It means I'm not able to concentrate because my head is overloaded. What do I do? Instead of think, you know, I'm reading and I'm repeating the same line twice. Nasishiki bado. Do you ever do that? Unasoma the same line twice. Alafu nangangana paka unasoma loudly. Na bado haingi. How do we cope with stress? We have good stress, we have bad stress. Yes?
The way to cope with is like going out and getting fresh air.
Going out and getting fresh air, for example. Are we together? What is stress? Can you define stress? Anybody? Manzini kuna stress leo. What does that mean? Huh?
Thoughts that fill up your head, you can't concentrate because they bother you each and every time.
Very good example. Like thoughts that are constantly bothering you, for example. Something else. We have good stress. I will explain. We have bad stress. Have you ever seen when a baby is trying to walk? And this time we use baby steps for the wrong reason. We say, no, baby steps. Pole pole trafika. Baby steps for me means, you know, the first day when we are celebrating, oh, mashallah, natembea, yay! The whole family. Second day, nobody bothers. Does that child sit down and say, you have to clap for me to walk? What happens to that child? That baby, what happens? They continue walking. Baby steps is consistency. Every single day, I will do it. I will fall down. I will wake up. You've seen when people are going for skates, they wear those knee protection, ankle protection. Have you seen us doing it for babies? Alafu namponi hivyo tu atakuwa hakuna shida. Baby step is about consistency. It's about focus. It's about determination. I love Hajar alayhi salam for a reason. You know, when you look at Hajj and Sa'i and Umrah, and may Allah open the doors for us to go back to Hajj and Umrah. I didn't hear Ameen, but it's okay. I'm talking about Hajj and Umrah. When you look at Hajar, and let's go back to Hajar a bit. And this is where we're going to talk about having an anchor for the next 4 years. We don't want to hold on a thin branch that will be taken away by the wind. We want to hold on something that we know, come rain, come sunshine, I have messed up, I am in pain, I am not doing very well academically, somebody has bullied me, somebody has been mean to me, I know where I can go, and that will be my anchor. Who can be our anchor? Who can be our anchor? Or who should be our anchor? Huh? I can't hear you. Alhamdulillah ala ni'matil mask. You know, when people are speaking, you can't tell who's moving their lips now. Allah is our anchor. Allah is our... When you look at Nabi Musa alayhi salam and we look at Hajar alayhi salam, when you look at Hajar, Nabi Ibrahim left her in a desert. And his dua, he says, غَيْرَ ذِي زَرْعَ, a barren land, an uncultivated land. Nothing grows on that land. And he says, Ya Rabb, I have left my progeny in that land. Protect them. Take care of them. Make people around them love them. Make this, next to your house of Allah, but also make this city peaceful and prosperous. But Hajar, when he's about to go, what does she ask? Did Allah ask you to do this? He says, yes. What does she say? Allah will not forsake me. Allah will not let me perish. Allah will not forsake me in this dry and cultivated land. But does she sit down and say, Khalas, manna wa salwa kulu min tayyibatin ma razaqnakum ya Rabb, you have been left here? What does she do? What does Hajar do? Before Zamzam came, she runs between Safa and Marwa. Once, twice, how many times? 7. How do you call that? Running 7 times. Sa'i. But in terms of metaphor, I am trying mathematics formula 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 times. How do you call that? How do you call that? Ujinga or... Is that determination from Hajar? Was she determined? Was she strong? Do you see commitment to herself? Do you see our pity moment like I'm going to die with my baby here? Do you see that? Do you see her saying, I was a slave girl before, now I'm back to being nothing, I've just been left in this barren land? She runs once, twice. Leo mimi nafanya hesabu mara moja tu. Ya pili nipatie kitabu yako bwana ni copy pasting. Namaliza naweka hapo. And then I get a very big tick from the teacher and I'm very, very happy. Come from 4 and I'm wondering, how do I begin? Copy pasting doesn't work, right? In every class, we have several personalities. We have the class bunkers, double maths. Akiamka kichwa niuma, mimi siwezi ingia class. Na hakuna kitu nakuuma. Nenda ukalale, meza Panadol, unaenda. Class bunkers. Second personality, gossip machines. Allahumma lakal hamd. They know anything and everything about that school. Hey, wako hapa. Kila kitu nataka gossip utapata. 141 BBC, ndio wao, they'll give you. You have another category. They know it all. Wanajua everything. Then you have the debaters, and then you have the daydreamers. Uko wa class tu. Umeenda ziplining, umerudi, umeenda Turkey, umerudi, umeenda kwa BTS, umerudi, umefanya kila kitu, umerudi. That's, are we together up there? And then we have the sketches. I like them the most. Mwalimu ame-explain, umechora. You're just doing a very nice sketch of a drawing. And how do you know sketches? Look at their books. Mostly. Even now, somebody's sketching somewhere. Do we have them? So find out where you are. We have the queen bees, mashallah. You know, those girls who... But one thing that you also have to realize is, at the end of the day, who is your anchor? Inna ma'iya rabbi sayahdi. Nabi Musa alayhi salam, and I want us to imagine that, visualize it, but Israel is coming from this side. Pharaoh and his jesh is coming on this side. They've reached a dead end. This is the Red Sea. Nilikuwa naona watu walikuwa na hiyo bridge leo nasema, naweza kupita kweli? So you can imagine that, and then the shaky iman of the Banu Israel, they said, Inna la mudrakun, we are finished. Khalas, we are done. What does he say? Kila mtu chimba kaburi, kila mtu jirusha kwa maji. He said, Kalla, inna ma'iya rabbi. He says, no. And Kalla is a very strong no. Allah is with me and He's going to guide me. He's so uncertain. Hajar is uncertain. But guess what? They're very certain at the same time. The times are uncertain, but they're very certain of one thing. Allah will save them. Allah will guide them. He doesn't know yet how to do it. Later on, Allah tells him to do what? Using your stick, hit what? The water. Are we together up to there? Who is your anchor? That's point number one. If you have an anchor, you have, alhamdulillah, a masjid next to you 5 times a day. Unaomba dua, unasema ya Rabbi, nimeparara yenyewe exam, hii biology, mimi sikuwa nafikiria biology na hivi nimetoka kwa science tu. Just guide me. Use your feeling to converse with Allah. I feel sad, Ya Rabb. You know, when you look at Nabi Yaqub, he grieved so much. He said, إِنَّمَا أَشْكُو بَثِّي وَحُزْنِي إِلَى. He said, I am, you know, my complaints, my grief, my sorrow is to. And this is how our du'as should be, a conversation. رَبَّنَا آتِنَا فِي الدُّنْيَا حَسَنَةً وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ حَسَنَةً. Rather, you're supposed to use those du'as the way you're feeling. I feel anxious. Exams are coming. Are we together? These are very difficult times also. COVID has affected each and every one of us today as we speak. I used to say, if you're not infected, you're affected. We had this false sense of, we thought COVID has gone. Now we hear the Delta variant and it's hitting real hard. You're in school. How many people are worried about their families back at home? How many people are worried about families back at home? You know, somebody will say, my father is old, he's diabetic, my mother is apart. You understand my point? You have that aspect. You have a new life, a new transition. You left your classmates. You came back to a new society, a new institution. There are rules, there are regulations. Mnamka sangapi? 4 a.m. Last year, 4 a.m. Nalikuwa namka 4 a.m. How many people have, now you're taking responsibility, you're doing your own laundry. It's a bit stressful. Are we together up to there? So what do? One thing, have an anchor. Second thing, journal. I see some people have very nice books. Journal is a book that you have. It's where you write your thoughts to yourself. It's the moment where you're honest to yourself. Where you're honest to? You write, today was like this. You know, we saw Habiba, we saw Riziki, we saw Hamza. You know, mimi nilala halfway, you know, or something happened, or they spoke about something that really touched me. Write about it. Write about your dreams. Have you done goal setting? You did goal setting. This is where you visualize your goal. You visualize your dream. You know, somebody tells you, you know what, I'm going to Jannah. Yes, me, I'm going to story na Bilal ibn Rabah. What? I'm flying there. That's a vision that you have for Jannah, for example. And for us, ultimate goal is Jannatul Firdaus al-A'la bi-idhnillah, right? So what you do is have a journal that you write to yourself, and every day take a moment with yourself. This is point number 3. I've seen they've talking about time management, and I'm sure Riziki talked about time management. Write about things that you're grateful for. When you're too stressed, or you feel like I'm getting too anxious, or things are overwhelming me, sit down and say, وَإِن تَعُدُّوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ لَا تُحْصُوهَا. If you sit and count the blessings of Allah, you will never finish. But sit and say, Alhamdulillah, I got an opportunity for education. I am a Muslim, Alhamdulillah. I have a life. I am alive. I am this. Count the blessings that you have. And the more you count blessings, the more positivity comes in, and the more negativity. It's like, I put a dark circle here, and all this is white. When we are stressed, when we can't regulate our emotions, we focus on the darkness. Number 3, exercise. I know we don't like moving, especially in the world of technology where we're just here. The more you exercise, the more you produce endorphins, hormones called endorphins that make you feel nice, good, high, and uko tu hapa. You know what? I can do it. Chemistry later, mathematics later, kila kitu later. Are we together up to there? Exercise. I know when you hear PE, you go like, not again, come on. You should be the one like, teacher, nasituongeze jioni tufanyage PE tena. That concept of looking forward to utilizing this kiwanja is something that should come. I know some of us come from communities where exercise is not the ideal thing, but this is the opportunity that you have. Exercise, exercise, exercise. The other point I want to mention is count your victories, celebrate yourself. For example, you had planned, and today you realize, I actually revised mathematics. I tried the formula 2-3 times until I either got it or I never got it, but I didn't copy. I went to the teacher and you say, Alhamdulillah, yes, I did it today. The more you celebrate yourself, the more you become number one fan of yourself, your self-worth also improves. Are we together? The I can do mentality comes on board. Positivity comes on board. Negativity reduces. Instead of seeing doom, you see hope. Are we together up there? The other thing that we also have to appreciate is have a buddy system. Have a buddy. In the essence of buddy system, yes. A buddy system in the sense that, for example, you're good in maths, you're good in chemistry, you're good in biology, for example. I am not good in maths, but I'm good in chemistry and biology. Then we sit down, we discuss, we form like a small, friendship, but based on benefits. There's an ayah in the Quran that says, Ya waylata laytani lam attakhid fulanan. Can you imagine that day you're regretting, you say, I wish I had not taken Habiba as a friend. I was doing so well, man, until he introduced me to TikTok. And then I was destroyed. Allah is telling us that day you're going to regret. This is the same concept. You're here on a mission. You're here on a purpose. You're here on a vision. Your timeline is 4 years, right? Kuna mtu akona 5 years? It's like you're on a plane or you're on a bus. And you're like, nikifika Voi, I'll get off the bus. Are we together up to there? So what needs to happen is, during that time, use it wisely. Peer pressures will come, diversions will come, but you get back yourself on track. And how do you get back yourself on track when you don't journal, when you're not aware about who you are? This is where it says, today I spent so much time with Habiba, and what we did, we just gossiped. I wasted a whole time. Now I have a backlog of chem, maths, physics is waiting for me. I've not done the homework. Look. And then you said, no. I'll be talking to Habiba only once a week, or maybe once I'm done, before sleeping, for example. And why is it important to have a buddy system? When the Prophet ﷺ got the revelation and he was being told that the Quraysh had organized from each clan a man to kill him, what did he do, the Prophet ﷺ? Somebody can tell me? Yeah, go ahead. Okay, somebody else? So the Prophet ﷺ asked Ali bin Abi Talib to do what? To sleep in his. And who did he ask to go with? Why didn't he go alone? He had a wahi, he had Jibril on his side. Why did he ask the support of Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu? Do we understand the essence of when Nabi Musa was told to go to Fir'aun? What did he say? I can do this. Or what did he ask for? For his brother Harun. Nabi Musa is the only prophet who made his brother a prophet through dua. Are we together up to there? But before he asked for Harun, Akhi, something else that we also need to look for, stress management, emotional regulation, that is very, very fundamental, is accepting your weakness. Accepting that, for example, emotion-wise, I get angry very fast. Okay? Or guys, I just cry anytime. I'm happy, I cry. I'm sad, I cry. You know? Kuna watu, mashallah, their tear glands are very active. I'm one of them, for example. Are we together up to there? You can't hear me. Okay. I'm saying, understanding your strengths, understanding your weakness. One thing that we have to appreciate is Nabi Musa, alayhi salam, when he met, when Allah spoke to him, he said something very powerful. قال رب اشرح لي ويسر لي واحلل عقدة يفقه. Let's pick these last two ayahs. واحلل عقدة من لساني. Why did he mention lisan? Why the tongue?
He said, make me capable of giving us.
Articulation, yes. The tongue is the mother of all evils. Somebody had his hand up, her hand rather. Yes. Sorry, I can't hear. He was not fluent when he spoke. And he's going to meet who? Fir'aun. And who's Fir'aun? Fir'aun is the man who brought him up. But Fir'aun is also the man who's looking for him for the murder of Ajesh. You remember? And this is where I want you to appreciate something. Appreciating your weakness is a strength and not a weakness. Does that make sense? Appreciating my weakness is a strength, not a. We live in a world where everything has been perfected. We live in a world of Instagram and filters and makeup and everything else. Watch out to Oshe, you go like Allahumma lak alhamd. We live in a world where confidence is defined by being behind a camera. Somebody's doing TikTok, alafu kutana in real life hata kuzungumza hawezi. But behind a camera, mashallah, tabarak ar-Rahman. Are we together up to there? When you sit back and realize, my weakness is 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to work on it, that is not a weakness, but rather it is a strength. It is appreciating yourself. It is accepting yourself. It is accepting that, mimi English na fasihi nitabomoa vizuri sana. Lakini kitu kingine usiniulize, kwanza history, Majimaji rebellion wachana nayo. Are we together up to there? It's knowing yourself. It's appreciating وَحْلُلْ عُقْدَةَ مِنْ لِسَانِي يَفْقَهُ. It's understanding that I can't do this by myself. Haruna. And why does he choose Harun? Because he knows Harun will not backstab him. Harun is my brother. Harun will not be a traitor. Harun will be on the same agenda as me. They have a lot of commonality, right? You also need to look for somebody who's going to help you, but you share the same vision and goal. The same vision and? It's like I want to gossip 24 hours and you want me to be your study partner. Does that work? Are we together up there? I've seen, mashallah, the other point is, mkona chupa za maji, rehydrate. Sometimes we are so stressed, but when we drink water, either slowly it calms us down, and when it's not even slowly, that aspect of being dehydrated helps. When you rehydrate, your nerves, your headache goes down. Next time you're having a headache, na hujakunywa maji the whole day, usikimbilie dawa, kunywa maji and tell me how it feels. Are we together up to there? Something else that I also want us to have is Have boundaries. Learn to say no. Learn to say no. But usisemage no kwa fujo. In an assertive kind manner. For example, unajua your homework. You say yes. Somebody else comes, yes. And sometimes we confuse kindness with boundaries. For example, she gives me, sunifanyie, alafu nitakopi. She gives me. Then before I realize, my own work has not been done. Are we together up to there? And then I start freaking out. I start arguing. And then somebody was like, nisifanyie mtu anakuambia kwa nini basi uliniambia utafanya kama hukufanya? And then you become into conflict. Are we together? Be kind, but also have boundaries. Learn to say no. Have an anchor. Inna ma'iya rabbi sayahdeen. You know my anchor is my Allah. He's going to guide me. I'm going to deviate, but He's there for me. I can talk to Him. He will not judge me. I have a buddy system. Are we together up to there? I am rehydrating. I'm exercising. I'm counting my victories. And every day, and this is where very important, in the school's routine, have time for the self. Talk about in 10 minutes. Reflection. You're thinking. You're reflecting. You're looking at tomorrow. When you are in class 8, how many of you are KCP grades? You are imagining which grades I'm going to get in KCP? How many people wrote that somewhere? Literally. How many? How many people, KCPE, before you did KCPE, how many people were writing before the KCPE, the results they want to get? Wameandika mahali. When you wrote, how did that make you feel? Huh? What? Had you done KCPE by then? It was just a dream. It was just a vision. Are we together up to there? It's going to be from 4 a.m. What time do you sleep? 9:30. Okay. So what time do we leave preps at night? 9:30. Okay. 9:30, between 4 and 9:30, you're a student. You're what? You're either studying, mnafanyanga duties hapa? You're either doing duties, you're either eating in the D hall, you get time to gossip kidogo. Before you go to bed, sit back and account for that day for about 5 minutes. This is what happened. What will happen tomorrow? Visualize, write it down, close your book. Does that make sense? Last but not least, where you come from, your past, your background, your identity doesn't matter when you're in the school. All of you are the same now. You're called students. You're called what? Kuna mtu amekuja na mattress kutoka nyumbani? Kuna mtu mwingine na kitanda kutoka nyumbani? Sijui double decker, sijui 6x6. You're wearing the same uniform. You're eating the same food. You're sitting on the same seats. Are we together up to there? You're all, if my father has a Prado, the Prado is at? It's actually, you realize the Prado is not mine. It belongs to him and his wife. Are we together up to there? This is point number 1. Point number 2 is, whether you went through, you lost a parent, you went through bullying, you went through any form of abuse, do not let the past determine your future. I'll give 2 examples. Nabi Ibrahim alayhi salam, when he was thrown into the fire, who was among the people who threw him into the fire? His own father. Can it get worse than that? Who has been thrown into the fire by the father or the mother here? Are we together up to there? Let's go to Nabi Yusuf alayhi salam. نحن نقص عليك أحسن بما أوحينا. Can you imagine Nabi Yusuf imagining 10 of his brothers anawaangalia, tumue, hapana, tusimue, tumrushe kwa well. He's watching that debate. Who has seen a well here? It's very deep, it's very dark, it's very cold. We don't know whether they are animals, snakes, scorpions, right? So can you imagine your blood brothers take you, throw you into a well? How do you call that? Describe those actions. Hatred? Jealousy? hurtful, humiliation, betrayal, right? Selfish. And don't forget, they had lied to their father and they said, we will take care of him. And their father said, no, 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 you guys will go and play and you'll forget him and he will be eaten. And they came in and lied very nicely. And for the rest of their life, they kept that lie. The 10 of them, hakuna mtu aliona babake anagrieve. Mwanamwangalia Yakubu akiwa Mungu anaweza kuwa blind, situsemane. Nobody opened their mouth. Have we reached that point? Anybody was reached that point? Nabi Yusuf, after that, people find him from the well. They don't think, maybe he's a child, he just fell, a small boy, into the well. Can we check around the neighborhood and see if anybody is missing? They take him and they do what? So he goes from being a favorite child to being a slave. And then he ends up in prison. He becomes an ex-convict, right? When he comes out and he tells Pharaoh the dream, what does he tell the Pharaoh? Make me the security guard of the place. What does he ask to be? Anybody knows? Justice? Somebody else? Your hand was up. To hand him all the responsibility, the key. And I want us to fast forward 7 years after the rain has come down, all the lands around Egypt, it's a drought, severe famine, right? The only place that has food and water is where? Which is the most powerful ministry? Water and food, or it's the rest? Which is the most powerful ministry? It's water and food, because people are coming from outside looking for the same commodity that is missing everywhere else. Are we together up to there? Did his past, did the humiliation, the betrayal, the sibling rivalry and everything he went through, the prison, the women, the slave, the selling and all these things, did any of that affect his personality, his self-esteem, his self-worth, self-confidence? So what you need to understand, and I want you to embrace this, where you come from, what you have been through does not mean that you're a loser in the future. You've come this far, right? And all of you are A material. You're aware of that, still. Because everybody here almost got the same high masks. Are we together up to there? So ideally, if KCPE was today, KCSE, all of you are A material. The only difference is between Form 1 to Form 4. What happens? Are we together up to there? Let's look at the last example of self-worth and how you see yourself. Who knows Wahshi? Radiallahu anhu. Wahshi. Wahshi. The one who killed Hamza radiallahu anhu. And who knows Bilal ibn Rabah? The first mu'adhin in the history of Islam, right? Both Wahshi and Bilal had a lot in common. They were both slaves. They were both Ethiopians. They were both dark. What else? What is the other similarity? They were all foreign to the Quraysh land. The only difference between the two of them is how they saw themselves. How they saw themselves. Bilal ibn Rabah was very positive. Islam came, he didn't care whether it's for Quraysh or not. He goes like, it's my deal, I'm going to take it. He had a better self-worth. And Wahshi was busy telling him, Quraysh are being busy persecuted and you're here claiming to be a Muslim. And he says, listen, it has nothing to do with the Quraysh. I would get up to there. But Wahshi had low self-esteem, had bitterness and had anger. Had bitterness and this is the other point I want us to go to, is forgiveness. When you don't forgive, you have a lot of anger. It's like I see her. I was going somewhere, I was just having fun. And then I see her, I shrink. And all of a sudden, what do I become? Angry. I didn't know she was coming. Does it happen? You change. You get so angry. Somebody says something. It traumas you very well. Does it happen? I normally say to refuse to forgive is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die, because it's going to kill you and eat you slowly, slowly. Let's imagine Jannah, okay? All of us, let's imagine Jannah. Wahshi killed Hamza radiallahu anhu, right? Hind bint bint Utbah, she mutilated the body of and ate what? But she didn't swallow, but she spat the liver out. Later on, by the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Wahshi and Hind both became Muslims. Are we together up to there? And Wahshi, subhanallah, using the same spear he shot at Hamza radiallahu anhu, he kills with it who? Musaylam al-Kadhab, the man who came out and pretended to be a prophet. You will do seerah, inshallah, when you start. Are we together up to there? So I want us to imagine one thing. You're in Jannah, Hamza sees Hind and Wahshi together in Jannah. What do you think Hamza is going to do? Would he go like, what are you guys doing here? You killed me, you mutilated me.
He's going to be happy.
He's going to be happy for them. He's gone through pain, but he is happy for them. Because of what? He has a bigger picture. I wanted Jannah, I'm in Jannah. Guess what? I don't care what you guys think. Are we together up to there? My question to you, and you should write it, what is your bigger picture? What is it that when you see, I kushtui, when will you reach a point where you're like, mashallah, if we all got A's, man, if we were all good, if you see me struggling and you're like, Habib, instead of criticizing me, you're helping me and holding my hand and said, can I be your buddy system? When you find somebody's getting teary, instead of you go like, no, I understand, it's difficult, it's hard. Are we together up to there? Does that make sense? So, we are talking about what is your anchor? What is your anchor? To summarize, Allah is my anchor. Inna ma'iya rabbi sayahdin. Mathematics ni ngumu ya Rabbi, lakini you know the situation now. Nimekuwa nikiwaste time, give me tawfiq, give me guidance. The aspect of realizing I am not alone. And you need to say this loudly, I am not alone. Inna ma'iya rabbi. Allah is with me and is going to guide me. I don't know how, but guess what? I'm going to make it. That is the spirit. Number 2, body system, forgiveness, journaling. And this is where you need to write your journal as much as you can. Let it be your best friend. And one thing, please, don't use it against each other, because Yawmul Qiyamah you'll be asked. I take it, I read it, I ridicule you and stuff like that. Number 3, self-worth. If my anchor is Allah, if I have a bigger picture, I can see ultimate goal is Jannah. There is written, ultimate dream is Jannatul Firdaus al-A'la. But then you say, my bigger picture is to get an A, but guess what? Jannah, alhamdulillah, or my ultimate goal, Jannah, A, big bonus. I'm going to forgive you for being mean to me. I'm going to pity you for being the way you are, and all these kind of things. It helps you move forward. I know you're at an age where competition is key, but make it healthy. Make it. Forgiveness is something. I want us to look as the last Form 4s who left here. Do you think anybody remembers anybody if you look at it? Can you imagine if you hold on to the fact that ulinifungia kwa choo siku moja 2 years, 3 years ago, who is it going to hurt? The person who forgave you left, hata pengine alisahau alifunga hiyo. So, my time is up. Barakallahu fikum, jazakumullahu khairan. Any questions before we do a small wrap up?
How many of us want to be teachers? Yaani sisi tumesumbua walimu mpaka tutaki kuwa walimu. You don't want to be teachers? Let me tell you, one of the most important professions you can ever decide to do is teaching. If you've not thought about teaching, think about being a teacher. It might not pay as well as a pilot. It might not pay as well as a dentist or a doctor or a gynae or a politician, but being a teacher pays in many folds. You will never know. I don't know, when I'm standing here, I don't know which student that I spoke to one day and they were about to give up. And I inspired them and changed their lives, and when they are making dua, maybe they wake up during the night when everyone is sleeping and they remember me and mention my name to Allah. I don't know. So I implore you, think about being a teacher. You'll never go wrong. don't think about the money. If you love to be a gyna because that's your passion, be a gyna. But teaching is a great profession. Okay? Don't worry about the brothers. It's just me and you. Like you guys, you could have decided to be anywhere, but you've decided to be here with us, with me. And I love that. Isn't that amazing? Yeah. Can we clap for ourselves? Are you guys up? Mko na energy yenu iko tu kidogo tu hivi chini. Okay, but tutachangamka, si ndio? So today, by the time I finish this talk, I want us to feel alive. I want us to feel our self-esteem is up there. I want us to feel self-worthy. I want us to have self-awareness. I want us to feel valuable. I want us to feel valuable. I want us to know that Allah loves us. Allah does what? Loves us. That He created us as human beings. Allah would have created us this hall. Allah would have created you this bottle or this water. Allah would have created you a cockroach. But Allah loved you so much that He created you a human being. And He said, Inni ja'ilun fil ardi khalifa. Allah loves you. Isn't that amazing? Allah loves you so much that you guys can look at me and see. You guys can think. I can tell you something funny and you laugh. I can tell you something emotional and you'll be emotional. I can tell you something enlightening and you'll nod your head in admission that yeah, that's a great point. And I'll tell you something touching and you cry. And if you don't cry, I'll pinch you. So I'm here today to remind you how valuable you are. Are we together? Are we together? Yes. And I want us to, unaona venye tulikuwa pale nje kwa kiwanja mimi napenda klasi yangu wanajua, si ndio? Tujiachilie, tufurahi, si ndio? This life is hard. But wewe, you can choose your life. You can choose your hard. You can choose to have courage, to know yourself, to be the best version of yourself. Okay? Sawa sawa? I want to start with a story. Siku moja, sote tunaelewa Kiswahili? Eh? Hujui Kiswahili? So I want to start with the story. Siku moja, niko pale Jamia, ama pas Jamia. I work at a media station, so nilikuwa nimeenda kununua kitu. So nimetoka Jamia, I remember at that time, nilikuwa napitia one of the toughest time of periods in my life. In my marriage, my family. Yani, nilikuwa napitia a very, very tough situation. So, niko pale nimebeba mzigo, natembea. Sasa mimi alafu wakati huo pia niko na njaa, ni saa kama saa 8 hivi, jua inawaka, alafu niko very hungry. So nimebeba ile mzigo, mawazo yangu tu iko kwa shida zangu. So mimi natembea, naenda, then nikiwa napita, nikaona mama wawili wamekaa mahali pale, wale wa kuomba pesa, wale beggars wamekaa pale, wawili. So mimi I don't know them. So wanasema Waswahili, usiyemjua ama asiyekujua kuthamini. So mimi natembea tu nikienda on my kazi yangu tu. Then nikiwakaribia nikasikia wanaongea. Nikasikia mmoja ameambia mwenzake, mimi nakwambia maisha inakuanga ngumu. Maisha ni ngumu, lakini Mungu anaweza kubariki. Usi give up. Mwenyezi Mungu siku moja anaweza kubariki. Upate amekupea bwana kama huyu. Alafu anani point. You guys mtaki kucheka? Mnaweza nichekelea. What do you think I felt? What do you think I felt? I felt nice. Yes. Okay, mbona utafilaje? Utafeel kublush, embarrassed, ndio? Ukweli nilifikiria sana kukimbia. But wakati nilienda nikaji-recollect, when I sat down and recollected myself, and I thought about what has just happened, I thought, yani mimi Hamza Hassan ama Hassan Hamza, I'm living in my head for the problems that I have. I think I'm not worthy. I think I'm not valuable. But there is someone somewhere seated down and they look at me, and if only they would have the life that I have, it will be a miracle to them. You get my point? And yet me, I was living in my head with my problems, thinking that I am a nobody, thinking that my problems own me. I was so wrong. And I'm telling you this because it's not only me, it's us. How many times have you thought about yourself and thought about the problems that you have? How many times have you looked at yourself and thought, if only I was as tall as so and so, if only I was as light-skinned or as beautiful and so and so, if only I had the eyes, the blue eyes or the brown eyes that you want, if only I had the hair, if only I had the figure of, you look at yourself and you devalue yourself. I'm here to tell you, to remind you that you guys are, and that's our number one point. Write this down. I am valuable. Write that down. I am. No. Guys, bring your energy up. I am valuable. I want you to know that you guys are self-worth. You guys are valuable. I want to remind you guys that you are more precious than diamond, than gold, than all the silver and all the precious metals in the world. You guys are more valuable. And I want to tell you a story. Two guys were traveling in the desert. Two guys. The first one had a pouch hanging here with gold inside. And the second one had an intention to steal the gold from the first one. So when they were traveling, he would look at him, observe him very well. So when nighttime fell, they pitched a tent. The guy with the intention to steal, he pretended to have slept. When the friend slept, he woke up, searched him all over for the gold. He did not find it. He slept, very angry. He slept. The next day, he saw him with the gold, again hanging here like nothing had happened. He said, today I have to get it. Today I have to get it. So that day, he did all he could. All he could. He observed him very well. If yesterday he had observed him 50%, today he added another percent, let's say 70 or 80. He said, today I have to get the gold. When nighttime fell, he did the same thing. Slept. When the friend slept, he woke up, searched him all over for the gold, did not find it. The third day, he saw him with the gold again. He said, today, 100%, I'll get this gold. Nighttime fell. He pretended to have slept. Woke up when the friend had slept. Searched him all over for the gold. He did not find it. The next day, he saw him with the gold again. And he said, no, this is too much. The curiosity and the anger had mixed up. And he told him, my friend, every day, during the day, I see you with the gold. But during the night, when you have slept, I search you all over for the gold. I don't find it. Please, where do you put it? And the friend looked at him and smiled and said, I knew you had the intention of stealing the gold from me. So every day before I sleep, I put it in your pocket. Every day before I sleep, I do what? I put it in your pocket. Yesterday, I was speaking in a school, and I told this story. And I told this story, and they laughed. By the way, they laughed more than you. They laughed more than you. Anyway, I asked them, what's the lesson from this story? And they shot answers from every direction. One of them said, unajua huko kidogo ni watu wa ghetto. Akasema, unajua inatufunza kuficha vitu zako zisiibiwe. Kila mtu akasema, alafu there was a girl amekaa hapo katikati akainua mkono. You know what she said? She said, and this is the lesson, that everything that you are looking for, everything that you want is already within. Within? Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? Like I told you, you guys are more valuable than gold. You guys are beautiful. I want us to say this. The words that follow I am. Hey guys. Hey, nimetoka kwa ile class nyingine bwana walikuwa wamechangamka haki. Oh, you want me to live here? Eh? Tuchangamke, si ndio? Or we are tired? Eh? The words that follow I am.
The words that follow I am.
Let's say it like we mean it. The words that follow I am.
The words that follow I am.
Follow me.
Follow me.
If I start telling myself I am ugly.
If I start telling myself that I am ugly.
I am stupid.
I am stupid.
I am a failure.
I am a failure.
I will never find a good spouse. Kwa hiyo spouse mtaki? I will always be poor.
I will always be poor.
I can never be as good and so and so.
I can never be as good as so and so.
That's what I will become.
That's what I will become.
I have told myself
I have told myself
that for too long.
that for too long.
Now, it's time for me to change my I am.
It's time for me to change my I am.
I am beautiful.
I am beautiful.
Tuseme, let's say nakaswag kidogo. Tuseme nakaswag, eh? We can say nakaswag kidogo. I am beautiful.
I am beautiful.
I am powerful.
I am powerful.
I am successful.
I am successful.
I am wise.
I am wise.
I can make an impact
I can make an impact
in my family,
in my family,
in my school,
in my school,
in my country,
in my country,
in the world,
in the world,
in my religion.
in my religion.
I can.
I can.
I can.
I can.
I will.
I will.
I must.
I must.
Can we do that? Can we do that again? Yes. You don't want? Yes. I can.
I can.
I will.
I will.
I must.
I must.
We have to believe in ourselves. Like I told you, Allah loves you so much that He gave you, or He created you like as a human being. The people that make it in this world, do they have 4 eyes? No. Eh? And because they have 4 eyes, they see further? Eh? Do they have 4 ears? No. Do they have like several mouths? No. In fact, if someone had 4 eyes, we will run away. Sindio? There are people like you and I. And when I look at you, I see success in you. When I look at you, I see successful people. I see people that if you decide today, let's say this together. Today is the first day of the rest of my life. Today, I believe I am valuable. I am successful. I am beautiful. You know you're beautiful that unaona huko saa ile mmefunga shule alafu chalia anakuja ati anakuambia ati sasa aki wewe ni mrembo. Unamwambia angalia ati akikuja kukudanganya hebu tuseme pamoja I know. Anakuambia nini ati anataka kuingiza box anakudanganya. Aki uko na macho poa. Unamwambiaje? I know. Aki una smile poa. Unamwambia? I know. Unajitambua, si ndio? Unafanya nini? Unajitambua. Mtu hawezi kufanya nini? Hawezi kukudanganya. You don't fall for hizo kidogo kidogo. You say? I know. Asikulete, si ndio? Ati uko na macho supu? I know. Pigia makofi. Point number 2. We said point number 1 is? I am valuable. Not I know. Point number 2 ni? I know. Point number 2, a cup overflows. A cup overflows with what is inside. A cup overflows with what is inside. A cup does what? With what is inside. When you look at this bottle, nini iko ndani? Maji, si ndio? Kwa sababu ya nini? Kwa sababu maji ndio imewekwa ndani, si ndio? So nikitoa ama nikikunywa ndakunywa nini? Naona pale kuna moja iko na juice. Timu yellow wanakunywa juice ya yellow. Hiyo chupa iko na juice, si ndio? So iki overflow nini ita overflow juice, si ndio? What if tukiweka hapa oil, nini ita overflow? Damu. Tukiweka ujinga. Tukiweka urembo, ametuambia urembo. Tukiweka urembo, tutapata nini? Urembo. Usikue kama wale, angalia, be in your life. Put in yourself. You are a vessel, si ndio? Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam anatuambia hii moyo yetu is like ni kama sponge hivi. Ukichukua hiyo sponge uweke maziwa, nini itatoka ukifinya? Maziwa. Ukiweka damu, ukiweka oil. Sisi pia tukiamua kila siku kwa life yetu, we want kukuwa na, if you want to have courage, what do you put inside of you? Every day, kidogo kidogo unaweka nini? Courage. If you want to be wise, what do you put? Wisdom. If you want to be knowledgeable, what do you put? Knowledge. If you want to be hardworking, what do you put? Discipline. Discipline. So every day of your life, I like to tell people, every day of your life, go to the biggest room in the world. Nana, you're the biggest room in the world? What is the biggest? Hata wale ni mwafunza wajui? Sijakwambia hiyo the biggest room in the world, you don't know? You have forgotten. What is the biggest room in the world? What is the biggest room in the world? Success. The biggest room in the world is the room for improvement. Si mnipigie makofi bana, mimi nimesoma haki. The biggest room in the world is the room for improvement. Nani ashai kuingia kwa room of improvement akapata kama imejaa? So every day of your life, if you just strive, you think, a few years ago, I was speaking the way I'm speaking today. Nikitoka pale, kwa ile klasi nyingine mwanafunzi mmoja ameniuliza, sasa ile natoka kanita kaniuliza, when you were young, did you want to become a motivational speaker? No, I did not. Maisha ndio imeninyorosha. Paka nikapata kitu ya kusema. Anyway, every day of my life nilianza kusikiza other motivational speakers. Nikaanza kuangalia kwa maisha yangu pain gani yenye nimepitia, yenye naweza tumia. Every day of my life nilianza kuimprove, kusoma, kuongelesha watu. When I started speaking, I could not speak the way I'm speaking today. I could not make you laugh. I could not make you think or ponder. But alhamdulillah, because every day of my life, I went to the biggest room in the world. I want us to say it together. Every day of my life.
Every day of my life.
Let's say it with the swag, bana. Na maringo kidogo. Every day of my life.
Every day of my life.
I will go.
I will go
to the biggest room.
To the biggest room
in the world.
In the world.
Do you promise that?
Yes.
Usikue kama wale wasichana anatoboa mapua, anatoboa ulimi, mdomo, anatoboa macho, anatoboa mpaka hapa kitovu, lakini hatoboi maisha. Every day of your life, do something important with your life, okay? Do something important with your life. Every day of your life. Kidogo kidogo. Venye tulikuwa pale chini niliwaambia, this is your first week in school. This is your first week. Before you know it, it will be your last week. What matters is what you do between this time, what you study, what you put in your mind and in your heart between this time and that time. Only that ndio itafanya nini? Ita separate you. Mwalimu wenyewe amemwambia pale chini, in biology, kuna natural selection, si ndio? The best, the fittest, ndio watafanya nini? But you guys, you can decide today to work extra harder. You can decide today. You know, I have our last born. His name, anaitwa Richard. So, when alikuwa class 5, seko I think form 2, akiwa class 5, 6, one time during the holidays, akakuja kunitembelea, kuja kukaa kwangu. I was a bachelor, tulikuwa tunakaa tu na yeye. So, akiwa kwangu, nili notice akona anastama. So hiyo kustama I noticed inafanya self esteem yake inakuwa very low. Alafu shule pia hakuwa na perform vizuri. So I decided every day before niende kazini nikaanza kumwambia, alikuwa anaitwa Pasi nickname. So nilikuwa namwambia and I'll tell you and then you will repeat. So nikaanza kumwambia, namwambia Pasi, ananiambia hakuna kitu siwezi fanya. Pasi, hakuna kitu siwezi fanya. Sema pamoja. Pasi, hakuna kitu siwezi fanya. Tuongeze sauti kidogo. Pasi, hakuna kitu siwezi fanya. Form 1. Hakuna kitu siwezi fanya. Wakati so tukakaa naye mpaka shule ikafungwa. Then akaenda nyumbani. Then one day nikiwa kazini, my mother gives me a call. And then ukifika age yangu you will understand. Mama yako akikupigia simu, there's a time anakupigia simu, utajua tu from the start anataka pesa. Saa zingine akikupigia simu, utajua tu from the start kuna kitu mbaya imefanyika mahali. Ama something else. So hiyo siku mamangu akitaka favor, akitaka pesa nini, ananipigia ananiambia, "Daddy." Ananiambiaje? "Daddy." Aya, kama anataka kitu kingine imefanyika ananiambia, "Sema father." Ananiambia hivyo. "Sema father." So siku akanipigia akaniambia, "Daddy." Nikajua let me wait for nini next. Akaniambia, "Mwalimu wa kina Richard amenipigia, mwalimu wa kina Pasi amenipigia." Akasema mtoto mali alikuwa ameenda kama wakati shule ilikuwa imefungwa arudi huko. Nikamuuliza kwa nini? Akasema mwalimu ameniambia mtoto amesoma hapa for 5-6 years kutoka class 1 mpaka sasa yuko class 6. Hajawahi improve vile ameimprove saa hii. Hajawahi fanya nini? Hajawahi kuimprove vile ameimprove saa hii. Kwa hivyo mwalimu hata haja request, ameamrisha mwalimu mtoto alikuwa arudi huko. Kwa sababu ya nini? After Allah, every day nilikuwa na mjaza vessel yake, na ijaza na something positive. Na ijaza na self-worth, self-awareness. Ajue yeye ni mtu wa maana. Na wakati alirudi shule, mwalimu aliweza kufanya nini? Kunotice. Mwalimu aliweza kunotice. So hii ndio mimi nawaambia, you guys, every day of your life, go to the biggest room in the world. Whatever you add in yourself, add something, add beauty, add courage, add knowledge, add wisdom. Feel yourself as someone that is worthy, someone that's valuable. Okay? Are we together? Yes. Are we together? Yes. Okay, if you don't add add value into yourself between now and the time itakuwa imebaki 1 week, you will be the same person. In short, you will be the same person 4 years from now, except for the hard work you put in, for the books you read, and the people that you spend your time with. Okay? Sawa sawa? Yes. I want you to say this with me. I have the face. I have the face. I have the body. I have the body. I have the name. I have the name. I will do it. I will do it. I can. I can. I will. I will. I must. I must. I can. I can. I will. I will. I must. I must. Point number 3. We've talked about you are valuable. We've said you are valuable. We've said you are valuable. And then point number 2 we said? And we've said we want to put inside, what do we want to put inside of ourselves? Wisdom. And courage. And knowledge. And beauty. Si ndio? Si tunataka kufili warembo? Ama tutaki kufili warembo? Ama? Hatutaki kufili warembo, hebu tufanyeni warembo kidogo. Hatutaki kufili warembo? Point number 3. Tough times don't last. Tough times? But tough people do. Tough times don't last, but tough people do. Tough times don't last, but tough people do. You know, most of the time, and why I'm telling you this point, are you inspired? Kwanza, are you inspired with what you have shared?
Yes.
You are inspired?
Yes.
You are really inspired, sindio?
Yes.
But because we are inspired, today is a good day. Today is a good day because we are here together. We are sharing words of wisdom. We are sharing words of inspiration. We are sharing words of encouragement. But every day will not be the same. Tomorrow will not be as good as today. You will lose some things that you love. You will lose some things that you are attached to. Your parents will get sick. Our parents will not avoid it. At times they will do what? They will return to Allah. Isn't it? You will get sick. At times maybe your exam, you will study and expect to get good results. But at times you will fail. At times you will not be motivated like we are motivated today. But what I want you to remember is tough times don't last. But tough people do. I said that point in the other class, and one lady said, she held, when we finished, she held her hand and said, also teacher, we can say, when tough gets tougher, only the tougher gets going. When tough gets tough, when tough gets tougher, only the tougher gets going. And when I look at you, you guys look like people that are tough, except for when you are sleeping. Are we together? We are together?
Yes.
Most of the time, we feel about ourselves. Una feel, umepitia hardship, unaona wewe you cannot do it, you cannot make it. I want to tell you a story of a friend of mine. His name is Abdulaziz. You guys did not remind me to put on my mask. Should I put it on now? Eh? I want to tell you the story of one of my friends. His name is Abdulaziz. And Abdulaziz died around 2016. But he taught me a lesson that up to date, that lesson is alive with me. And I've carried it along with me. Abdulaziz had cancer. He had a tumor. Alikuwa na tumor hapa kubwa, almost the same size ya kichwa yake. On top of that, Abdulaziz alikuwa amekatwa mguu. Alikatwa mara ya kwanza, then mara ya pili. So Abdulaziz had one leg, imekatwa mara mbili. He had a tumor the size of his head. But Abdulaziz was a special person. With all this, Abdulaziz walikuwa wanaishi Korogocho. The parents hawana pesa hata ya kumpeleka hospitali. Tulikuwa tunafanya mchango, watu wanatuma kwa social media. Alitokea mpaka kwa KTN, kwa Citizen, kwa K24. But what ilikuwa unique na Abdulaziz, despite the condition that he was in, Abdulaziz, he will stand and pray. Na hakuwa na pray kama amekaa chini. He will stand and pray on one leg. Abdulaziz, you will come to his house. People will come to his house to see him. People will just petty from their issues, from their life. They had small issues, labda zinawa stress. But wakikuja kwa nyumba ya Abdulaziz, wanapata Abdulaziz amelala. Ama ako pale, amechangamka, ana smile. Anapatia yeye mwenyewe ni mgonjwa, lakini anapatia wale watu wamekuja, anawapatia encouragement. Then one day, something happened ambayo ilinishtua, ambayo ilinifunza a lot of lessons mpaka wa leo. So one day niko Jamia, Maghrib. I pray Maghrib. Before I went to the mosque, I put my phone on silent. So after nikitoka kwa mosque, naangalia simu yangu. Nikiangalia simu naona iko na missed call mingi. Before I can check the missed calls, nikaona message imeingia. Ikasema asalamu alaykum. Uko wapi? Alai Abdulaziz amelemewa sana. Kama unaweza fika hapa as soon as possible, please. Na tuko wasichana peke yetu because tulikuwa a few brothers na sisters tunamsaidia. Yeye ana wani familia yake ana brother mkubwa, so sisi tulikuwa hapo tunamsaidia. A few friends, brothers and sisters. So one of the sisters walituma message akasema, Abdulaziz ako hapa na amelemewa sana. Please kuja saa hii. So I was with two of my friends. Tumevaa makanzu, mvua inanyesha, kanzu ya white, hata tujali, tuko town. Na tunaenda Korogocho. Tukachukua pikipiki mpaka Korogocho. Tukifika kwa nyumba, Abdulaziz kweli amelemewa. Tukaita ambulance haraka. Ambulance imekuja. Kubeba Abdulaziz kumtoa kwa nyumba kumpeleka kwa ambulance ilikuwa ngumu kwa sababu Abdulaziz mwili ameisha kabisa, kichwa iko na hiyo tumor, mwili huku hakuna venye tunaweza kumbeba. So ili tulazimu tumbebe na mattress. Tukambeba na mattress, tukampeleka kwa ambulance. Kwa ambulance akafanywa first aid kidogo tu. By the time afike hospitali akakuwa just an inch, ameimprove tu kidogo from ile state yenye tulimpata. Na tukimpata ulikuwa sisi wenyewe unaona huyu jamaa the next minute anaweza aga. He can die the next minute. Tukampeleka hospitali ya Aga Khan, akaekwa kwa kitanda. The doctor akakuja. So sisi tumesimama hapo kando, roho inagonga. We are fearing for the worst. Abdulaziz, daktari akakuja. Akamuuliza, Abdulaziz, how are you? Let me tell you. Abdulaziz alikuwa haezi ongea. Hata kusmile ilikuwa ni ngumu, ana nguvu kwa mwili, lakini he did something that shocked us. Aliinua kichwa kidogo hivi, kichwa akamwangalia daktari, akainua hivi, lip moja hivi, ile ni kama ana smile, ana hivi, alafu akamfanyia. Sasa yuko onyesha, how are you? Akasema I am. Sema pamoja, how are you? I am fine. I am fine. Wale watu tulikuwa hapo, tulishangaa. This is a person that sisi tunaona anytime anaweza aga. Lakini yeye akona courage ya kuface whatever inamuhapenia na kusema I am fine. What about you? Are you in such a situation? Nini yenye wewe inakuzuia wewe kwa ile hardship yenye unapitia kusema I am fine? Just imagine. Nini wewe inakuzuia? A very, very important lesson from our brother. Allah anasema kwa Quran, anasema every soul has a protector. In kullu nafsi lamma alayha hafidh. There is no soul except that it has a protector. That wewe wakati unapitia hardship, when tough times call, remember that you are not alone. You have Allah. When Musa alayhi salam alikuwa kwa sea, this is the sea. Banu Israel wako hapa nyuma yake Farao na jeshi yake wanakuja. Farasi zinakuja mbio. Banu Israel waliogopa, si ndio? Wakasema tumefanya nini? Tumefikiwa. Musa akasema, no, verily my Lord is with me. He will guide me. Kalla inna mahiya rabbi sayahdin. Wewe, Allah hayuko na wewe? I want you angalia, even when you are feeling hardships, when you are feeling challenged, when you are going through a tough time, I want you to remember that the tough times are there, but the tough times does not take away the value from you. Does not mean that you are not valuable. Okay? The tough times don't take the value from you. The tough times are there, but you guys are still valuable. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Yes. For you to see me speaking here today, I told you I was brought up by two. Did I tell you? I was brought up by two women, my grandmother and my mother. My grandmother faced a lot of challenges. My grandmother had 6 children. All of them died except my mother. At one point, she was walking from Kitui to Nairobi to come and start afresh when all her children died. My grandmother, alikufa last year. And I remember, I was living here in South Sea, and she died on a day. Alinipigia asubuhi leo, mamangu alinipigia simu leo, kama Saturday akaniambia nyanyako anataka kukuona. And because nilikuwa na kazi mingi hiyo siku, nikasema, madhe kesho ni Sunday, siko kazini, wacha nitakuja kesho. Kesho yake, nikiwa kwa barabara nikienda kumwona nyanya yangu, akakufa. Kwa barabara napigiwa simu, nakumbuka kwa hiyo gari nililia. I've never cried like that. I remembered my grandmother. She brought us up. She encouraged us. Even when tulikuwa tunaishi kwa nyumba ya matope, we didn't have anything. Our grandmother filled us up with words of encouragement. She would always tell me, Hassan, ananiambia kutembea mguu tupu leo haiwezi kuzuia wewe kutembea na kiatu kesho. My grandmother walikuwa wanatuambia na mama yangu wanatuambia, Hassan, hakuna mtu anakuanga ameekelewa mawe ati hawezi pita hapo. Kumaanisha you can become anything that you want to be. At that time nilikuwa your age, nilikuwa nikitoka shule 3:10 ama 5, naenda nachukua kibuyu ya maziwa, nachukua kikombe, natembea mbali sana naenda kuuza maziwa, narudi nyumbani saa 5 usiku. But my grandmother and my mother walihakikisha that all the encouragement tulikuwa tunahitaji, words walikuwa wanatuambia. Me, I love to sit down with my grandmother, aniambie story yake, ametoka wapi, anipigie story yetu, zile hardship amepitia. And I remember, while my grandmother was being lowered to the grave, I cried a river. I cried so much. Because my grandmother, even though she did not leave us any wealth, any property, any money, any land, what she left in us. Me, after Allah, I stand here today to speak to you, to encourage you, to motivate you, to inspire you, because of the two women, my mother and my grandmother. And growing up, my mother had 7 children. I'm the second born. I grew up where I was born. Tulikuwa na nyumba ya matope, mud house. Nyumba ya matope. I'm sure most of you hamjaiona nyumba ya matope. But that has not prevented me from becoming the person I am today. If I don't tell you those words, will you think that I come from that life? With the games, the team building that we had in the morning, will you think I've come from that life? I want you guys to believe in yourself. I want us to say this as we finish. This world cannot break me.
This world cannot break me.
No, you guys, Aki, you guys have no energy. Ama mmechoka. We just finished there? No. Okay, let's say this together. Let's finish with the power punch. Okay. This, and then we show with actions. Let's put your attitude kidogo. Sindio, we are girls. We want to enjoy our is it called our girlhood? Is it called our girlhood? Okay. Okay. This world cannot break me.
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 Unless I give it permission.
I give it permission.
It cannot own me.
It cannot own me.
Unless I hand it the keys.
I hand it the keys.
Unless I give it my heart.
I give it my heart.
I have handed those keys to the world for a while. I have handed those keys to the world for a while. Now, I will take them back. Right now. Right now. This is not the end. I reclaim my heart to hand it over to the rightful owner. I hand my heart to Allah. Naweza. Unaweza. Tunaweza. Jazakumullahu khairan. Salamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I pray, nawaombea all the best in your life. Inshallah, fi dunya wal akhirah. Okay, salamu alaikum.
So in your dean, what do you want to achieve? Sawa. By the end of this year. That's why we're making it a short-term goal. What is the grade you want to have constantly back at the end of this year? Remember tumesema tunaanza na exams za hii term, kutakuwa na za second term, kutakuwa na za what do you want to achieve? What marks do you want to achieve in every subject and what grade do you want to achieve? So those are like, now we are setting our short-term goals. Tuko sawa? Na tumesema you have to do what with your goals? Write them down, okay? So those are the objectives. What are your objectives? We want to attain certain goals for this year. For this year. So once we set our short-term goals, they help us attain our long-term goals. Are we clear on that? So nimesema this is my short-term goal. By the end of this year, I want to attain maybe grade A ama B. Nataka inisaidie ndio nikienda form 2, bado niendelee ku maintain my grade, si ndio? By the time I get to form 4, I get that long-term goal I want to achieve, which will propel me to achieve my dream, which will propel me to achieve my ultimate dream. Do you see the way it goes? Mume understand? Dream, tumeanza na hizo short-term goals. This one year, what do I want to attain? Remember nimesema kuna social, your relationships. Kama ulitoka home, relationship yako na mamako, babako, ndugu zako iko vipi? How do you want to make it better? Sawa, you're going to work on that. You're going to work on relationships with people in this place. So those are goals you want to set. 3, your grade. What grade do you want to achieve? How do you want to do your studies? So you start setting your goals now for the whole year. Sawa? Then tunasema bado kuna the ultimate, the long-term goal. So we said they must be realistic, they must be achievable. Sawa? So don't go and set a goal that is not achievable. Set goals that are achievable and realistic and that you can measure. How can we measure goals? Nikisema me this time nataka mimi maybe I'm not good in maths, si ndio? Nikisema I'll try and make sure I get at least 70. Am I measuring? Yes, it's measurable, right? So I'm working towards getting 70. That is my goal. Nikifanya exam nipate 60, I know how much more I need to earn. That is what we are calling measurable. Sawa? Okay? And they must also be important to you. That goal has to be important. Ikiwa si important, will you work towards it? No. The goal has to be important. So how do we make goals important? 1, by owning it. Whose goal is it? Is it Riziki's? Own the goal. First thing, you own the goal. It is your goal. Own it. Jambie hii ni goal yangu. Si ya babangu, si ya mamangu. Ni ya nani? Yangu. Kama ni ya baba, akikukasirisha utaifanyia bidii. Kama ni ya teacher Fatma, akikuudhi utafanyia bidii. Kama ni ya teacher, the teacher doesn't like you, will you work hard? That is own your goal. Control your goal. Control your goal. Set a time frame for your goal. Tumesema the end of this year we want to attain a certain grade. So by the end of this term I want to attain a certain grade. So kuwa na time frame. End of term, end of second term, end of year. Are we together? Set a time frame for your goal. So each goal must belong to you. So you must decide what are your goals. Are my goals the same as your goals? Are her goals the same as her goals? Kila mtu goal yake ni tofauti. So one important thing is the goal belongs to you. The goal belongs to you. Do not allow others to influence how you set your goal. Kuna mtu hapa anataka kutoka na C. Yeye akipata C atatoka hapa akiimba. Wewe unataka kupata C? Yeye kama anataka C ni shauri yake. So don't allow anybody to influence your goal. Ama your dream. Don't let anybody to tell you We una dream kubwa sana, irudishe chini. Don't. So don't allow anybody to own your dream. It is whose dream? Whose goals? Own your goals. Own your goals. Don't allow anybody to influence, okay? So have the right information when you're creating your goals. So I want you to do research. Uliza maswali. You want to go to a certain university, start asking. Hiyo university watu performaje? Nikipata grade A itanipropel kwa kitu gani? Have information. So can we start searching for info? Sawa? Talk to teachers, talk to people, gather information. Yes, become a cop. Is it a must? Your dream is yours. You don't want to learn in a Kenyan university, you want to go to an international university, that is your dream. Own your dream. Sawa? Don't limit your dream. Know the resources that you will need and what are the things that will hold you back. So what are we saying? Know what you have to achieve the dream and what you feel will make you pull back from that dream. Maybe you're not very good at revising. Unajikumbusha. Mimi niko kidogo sleki na revision. Ama mimi sisikizangi mwalimu vizuri kwa class. So you know what are the things that drive you with your dream and which are the things that pull you down. You must have that information. Sawa? Be flexible. Kama leo hukufanya vizuri, usijiue. Relax. Jambie, I'm gonna work hard again. I'm starting all over again. When you don't do well, you don't die. You wake up stronger than before. So you become flexible. You become flexible. And you're able to control your goal. So setting a time frame makes your goal measurable. Time frame kama sasa tumesema at the end of this term. Kila mtu ajiwekee goal ile anataka kupata by the end of this term. What is the grade you want? Sindio? Kila mtu andike ile grade anataka end of this term. Andika tu kwa kitabu yako. Don't limit yourself. Your goal is not another person's goals. Andika ile goal unataka kupata. So when you set a time frame, when you reach a goal, utajua because that's the time frame you set. Sindio? So now we are saying at the end of this term, we want to have achieved something. Sindio? So the end of the term, utaji-assess, right? But do we just get to the end of the term? We have weekly. You're going to set your own small 2 steps. Weekly, monthly. Sindio? So you're going to work on yourself. And then you have to stay positive. You have to stay positive, motivated. The whole time you have to be motivated. Usiende kwa class uone mimi sijui physics. Haki physics ni hard. Hata niliambiwa na kazini yangu physics ni ngumu. Kazini yako kwake ilikuwa ni ngumu, kwani kwako ni ngumu? Why do we fail in maths? We fail in maths because we believe we cannot do maths. The minute you believe you can't do something, you can't do it. The mind works with what you tell it. The mind works with what you tell it. If you tell it, I can do it, the mind will tell you, let's. If you tell it, we can't do it, what will the mind tell you? Let's sleep, we can't do it. So what are you telling your mind? Be positive. Talk to your mind and then put detail into your goal. So what is detail? You see, you want a certain grade. Maths, nataka kupata marks fulani. English, nataka kupata marks fulani. This, I want to get this. This, I want to get this. Ikiwa ni Quran, I want to hifadhi certain surahs. Sawa? Ikiwa ni nini, I want to have done this. So by the end of this term, how many things katika dini do you want to achieve? Ziandike na uandike in detail. Kama ni za academic, how many things do you want to achieve? Uandike na uandike in detail. Kama ni kuishi na watu kwa hii shule vizuri, unaandika and you put them in detail. Then at the end of the term, you're going to account yourself. You're going to, what nasema kujitaka meeting, mimi, wewe na wewe peke yako. Unajita meeting wewe na wewe peke yako, unajiambia yenyewe kwa tuangalie hii term tumefanyaje. Do not wait to be called by your parent. Call yourself for a meeting and assess yourself. Come up with a plan. Come up with a plan. Discuss one goal that can be set for this class. What is the one goal we can set for this class? What do we want to achieve by the end of this term? Which grade? Tukubaliane sisi wote. A. Tumekubaliana? Can we all work towards an A? To go together? So can we put there that we are working towards an A? So because tumekubaliana, we will keep reminding each other. We will keep reminding each other. But who owns the goal? It is a class goal, lakini mimi niko na goal yako. Kila mtu ana own goal yake. Tumekubaliana? Okay. Now, if we get an A by the end of this term, what do we want to achieve after that? If we get an A by the end of this term, do you know the hardest thing to do is what? Maintain. Getting an A, very easy, kweli urongo. But maintaining it, lazima to maintain. We get the A, then we maintain. How do we maintain? So we set goals on how we maintain. So write how to maintain that grade. Getting it is very easy. Maintaining it is not easy. How do we maintain that goal? Lazima tu maintain. Ndio mwisho form 4 bado tupate nini? A. So we said there is that big dream. Just like kusahaulisha. Tumeanza na hizi goals, but why are we setting them? To achieve our dream, si ndio? We said the ultimate dream is Jannah. Hiyo haina question for every Muslim, si ndio? Lakini kuna hii dream ingine. So that dream goes with your personal goals, goes with your academic goals, si ndio? Goals with your community goals. So I want us to remember that when we are setting goals, kuna those personal goals, but they trigger back to the community, right? If you're a doctor, who are you treating? Are you treating yourself? Who are you treating? The community, si ndio? Whether Muslim or non-Muslim, lakini you're treating the community, right? If you're teaching, who are you teaching? The community. So your personal goals have to go on to reach other people. So we have to be very clear on that. And career goals. So personal goals, career goals. Personal goals, career goals. Zinaenda hand in hand. Personal goals na career goals zikiwa pamoja, what are we going to achieve? Our ultimate dream and our ultimate success. Are we together? Any questions so far? So there is something we call a life plan. A life plan. Si mmekuja form 1? Ndio life imeanza, si ndio? Ama? Si life imeanza? So do you have a life plan? Your life plan is to be here for 4 years, right? Finish your form 4. Get a good grade. Go where? University. Soma. Finish. Do what? Do whatever you plan to do, si ndio? Maybe after that get married, have children. All those is ibadah. Si ndio, we want our ultimate goal to go to Jannah. So I want you to always have a plan of your life in your head and you put it down so that you always work towards it. You always work towards your life plan. So don't think you're too young to have a life plan. Are you too young to have a life plan? Are we too young to have a plan ya maisha? No, we are now in high school. We are now in high school. We need to think like we are in high school. I'll tell you a joke about myself when I went to high school. So you have to think about your dean, you have to think about your academics, you have to think about your future, you have to work on every aspect of your life. That's what I'm saying, okay? When I went to Form 1, I thought people go with a kamba to play. So you know what I carried in my bag? A skipping rope. I was going where? To Form 1. Nikifika. Sioni watu wakiruka kamba. But my kamba is in my... So I told another girl, kwani huko watu warukangi kamba? Akaniambia mimi nimebeba ball. Nikamwambia okay. So sasa break, I was in a school. So break, girls would just stand in clusters and chat. Mpaka kengele kilia tunarudi class. Hai siku ya kwanza tunaambiana kwani shule iko aje? Hakuna kucheza. Hai. Second day nikabeba kamba yangu bado. Did we skip any rope? By the end of the week, I realized hakuna kuruka nini? Watu huku ni grown ups. Watu huku washakuwa. So I told myself now act like a, start acting like we pia we nikamjuaji, nikacha kubeba kamba. So I didn't know that was high school, unaona? So that's why I want you to realize umetoka daraja ingine sasa. Ushatoka primo. Sasa uko wapi? How many of you thought of carrying a skipping rope like me? Ama nyinyi mlikuwa mnywaji? Mlibeba kamba? Amkubeba kamba? Amuchezi kamba ta primo? Nilicheza mpaka class 8, I was still jumping rope. Sawa? So nyinyi ni wazuri. So nyinyi mko mbele kuniliko. Mimi nilibeba kamba wapi? High school. So you guys are mbele kuniliko. So you see, since you are in high school, think from that perspective of a high school girl. Don't think in the perspective of a primary school kid anymore. Sawa? You're no longer a primary school kid. You see the word I'm using? Kid. Are you a kid anymore? You are on your way to adulthood. You are on your way to adulthood. To achieve adulthood, you have to plan yourself. Planning starts now. See kesho. So your future inaanza sasa, saa hizi. How much money do you want to have in life? What do you want to be in life? Where do you want to live in the future? How do you want to live your life in the future? All those should be within things that now umeanza kuzipanga. Sawa? And then whatever we wish for, whatever we work for, our brain itatusaidia, Allah will also help us to achieve it. Sawa? So that is what I'm talking about. Let us start thinking big from the word go. So we have what we call intrinsic. Those things that will make us happy from within ourselves. And then we have the extrinsic that are from outside. So from outside, I want to own a car. Which car do you want to drive, my dear girl? I want to own a house. Which house do you want to own? I want to achieve what is it you want? Who are specific? When I say specific, are you getting it? Don't just say I want to own a car. Which car? You want a Demio? What car do you want? Yeah? A Kamkebe? Which one do you want? A Lamborghini. Inataka uwe specific with your goal so that you work towards achieving those goals. So are we together? So what have I said so far? Goals have to be owned. That is one thing I want you to put in your mind. Then nataka saa hizi kila moja wenyu sasa nitawapatia hizi manila. Mutaenda mutachora goals yako na your dream utaichora, utaiandika. That dream, there is a girl we did what we are doing with you today. She had it in Form 4. That Kamanila, she kept it and kept on looking at it, and she got what she wanted. Sawa? That's the same thing I want you to do. From today, mimi niko nataka tu kukuamsha. I don't know whether you are feeling you've woken up. Are you feeling like that? So I want you to have your dream. Then we want to find out. Form 4s were last year walipata which mean grade? Kama hamna habari. Unakuja shule hujui mean grade. Na umekaa hapa unafurahi. Guys are not serious. Amjui mean grade wala tulitoka form 4 hii last year ilikuwa ni ngapi? No, mean grade. And you are in this school. You are part of this school. Can you start asking, what was the mean grade for this school last year? What was the mean grade in the other year? What was the mean grade in the other year? Then you tell me what is going to be your mean grade. So when we are doing the total wind up, mutanipatia mean grade. Kwanza sasa hivi vile mtajua hizo vitu mimi sitaki kujua. There is an office you can go ask. You can send one of you, I don't know how you will find out. Sawa? Then we have to beat that mean grade the last 3 years. Are we together? We have to beat the mean grade for the last 3? Yes. Wewe, don't sit here and tell me haujui mean grade ya hii shule. You're not supposed to be in this school then. If you don't know the mean grade, how do you want to beat it? Ama nyinyi mlikuja kwanza kujibamba? Hizi wiki mbili ni za kujibamba, za kujua shule, nani alikamishwa, then nani hakukam. Ndio? Kujibamba ifanye nini? Iishe. Kujibamba ifanye nini? Let's wake up. When you say, I want to go and study abroad, do you know which abroad? Or is abroad everywhere?
Abroad.
Where is abroad?
Maju.
Which university? Maju ni wapi? Maju ni kwingi. Maju inaweza kuwa Italy, si ndio? Maju inaweza kuwa ni England. Maju inaweza kuwa US. Maju inaweza kuwa Canada. Which Maju do you want to go? Be specific. We are done? So before we come to meet again, I want to know the mean score this school attained last year. Sawa? Aya.